Vandeham Sri Guroh Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tang Sa Jivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitanscha. So, continuing with Srimad Brihad Bhagavatamrta of Sri Sanatana Goswami. We're now on chapter 7 of the first part, called Purna Nama. Hare Krishna. Shri Parikshit said, "Bho, mother, this melancholy and most heart-rending, despairing and alarming cry of the people of Dwarka soon reached all the worlds, and most inauspicious events became visible in all directions, prognosticating impending danger and calamities. Luckily, as it was ordained, Brahma could understand the reason thereof, so he personally came to Dwarka. He was followed by the Devatas like Indra and others, and naturally the Vedas also accompanied him. Brahma saw the fountain head of his origin, Sri Krishna, the Maha-Narayana, in that state of transcendental excitement on account of the extreme anxiety in his pangs of separation from the gopis. Such a paramount condition was never witnessed before at any time in the timeless Vedic annals. In this state of affairs, Sri Krishna opened the doors of the most secretly preserved, unfathomable reservoir of his esoteric love, now to flow uninterruptedly. Brahma was struck with wonder and became inundated unto that current and started weeping. But as he was ordained to his mission, he soon, with utmost care, composed and thought deeply over the matter, how he could bring back the normal condition of Sri Krishna. He, being the propounder of the Vedas, could get into his transparent mind a clue to solve the problem. Sri Brahma saw Garuda weeping by the side of Sri Krishna in a semi-conscious state. Brahma alerted him and told him, "Dear Garuda, see, I have already advised Vishwakarma to create a Nava Vrindavan in the valley in between the Lavan Salt Sea and the Raivata mountain, where as a replica of Vrindavan are placed the Sri Murtis of Sri Nanda Maharaj, Sri Mati Yashoda, along with the gopis, and also thousands and thousands of cows, etc. The very sight of it makes one to understand, as it were, the very Vrindavan of Mathura circle. Therefore, I do consider the only remedy for us is to take Sri Krishna there. The serenity and in accordance with Vrindavan Leela thereof alone can bring Sri Krishna to his normal state. So, better immediately you should carry Sri Krishna and Sri Balarama there. One thing, none but Sri Rohini Devi alone should accompany. Nay, we too, even we too, cannot remain within the jurisdiction of Nava Vrindavan. We too meaning Brahma and Garuda. Parikshit said, being comforted by Brahma, Garuda could compose himself And as per his advice, he most carefully took both Sri Balarama and Sri Krishna on his back, and with no loss of time placed them, both of them, in the midst of Sri Murtis of the Gopas and Gopis at that Nava Vrindavan, which was created by Vishwakarma. Devaki, the affectionate mother of Sri Krishna, and Rukmini, Satyabhama, and other principal queens of Sri Krishna, as well as Padmavati, were extremely anxious for Krishna. Therefore, they were also permitted by Brahma to go along with Uddhava to a certain distance and to stay at a place wherefrom they could see Sri Krishna, but were hiding themselves from the purview of Krishna himself. Brahma and other devatas also followed suit, whereas Sri Narada, considering himself as the very cause of this disturbance, didn't follow Brahma or the devatas, but being tempted to enjoy the excellency of the paramount and magnanimously beatific Leela of Krishna, he stealthily went there without anybody's notice and sat on the space, as he had such power, tightening his yogapatta upper cloth very carefully. Sri Garuda too was instructed by Brahma, went to sky beyond the vicinity of the Lord, but spreading both his wings, covered the sun for providing a shade on the person of the Lord. When everything was in order, Sri Balarama, the elder brother of Sri Krishna, just within a few minutes woke up, and being expert in hearing the secret of Brahma's mind and his plan, immediately dressed himself with his own hands, put dress on Sri Krishna to suit Braja Leela. He, with his own hand, decorated his younger brother, Sri Krishna, with the pitambara, the yellow garment, and the flute, Shringavetra, horn and cane, etc., were placed in the respective places. No doubt these things were kept ready by Vishwakarma. When both of them had fully worn most suitable dresses to match the situation, Sri Balarama lifted up Sri Krishna and loudly addressed him. "Bo, dear brother, Sri Krishna, wake up, wake up. Soon leave the bed. See, it is too late. Cattle are moving to the forest, and Sri Rama, along with other comrades, are awaiting you. Parents are anxiously thinking whether you are keeping well, and the gopis are hungrily feasting their eyes upon your moon-like face and sarcastically whispering to each other certain remarks about you." Sri Parikshit said, Sri Balarama repeatedly addressed Sri Krishna and time and again kissed his cheeks. Ah, what a divine affection! Oh, the maddening and self-enjoying sportive eyes and lips of his. Yet there was no response from Sri Krishna to get up. Therefore at last Sri Baladeva forcibly with his own hand pulled him from his bed and made him stand. Then Sri Krishna opened his eyes as if after a prolonged state of unconsciousness. The beloved Lord opened his lotus eyes and looked around deeply and smiled pleasantly. As soon as he looked at Father Nanda in front, the icon, he felt ashamed and paid him obeisance. Next, he observed that Mother Yashoda was standing close by, affectionately, but even without winking an eye, at which he smilingly said, "Dear Mother, this morning, while I was asleep, I dreamt a number of beautiful dreams, but I felt as if I was quite awake. Therefore, there are facts to me even now. I visualize, and I have gone from Braja to Mathura, where I have killed Kamsa and defeated Jarasandha and many other mighty kings. I have made the devatas of the heaven happy, and finally I have built a great capital of my own after the name of Dwarka on the shore of the Lavana salt sea. But I shall narrate about it in detail afterwards, as now I have to accompany my comrades. Due to such attractive vision, I could not get up in time in the early hours. Next, turning towards Baladeva, the Lord said, "Bo, respectable brother, if you consider my vision genuine, then I shall give a full story of it while we both meet in the forest along with our other comrades." Sri Parikshit said, "It's amazing, isn't it?" In the meantime, Sri Rohini Devi, the cleverest and most wise lady, could understand that now Sri Krishna would be asking his mother for eatables which generally he used to get from her on the eve of his departure to the forest. She immediately created a diversion of thought, Sri Krishna's thought, saying, "My dear son Sri Krishna, today, due to your getting up late from bed, your mother thought something was seriously wrong with you, as you are the only son to her. So better not disturb her now. You should follow the cattle herd along with your comrades, as they are already on their way. I shall prepare food for you in no time, and through someone that will be sent to you." Sri Parikshit said, when Krishna heard these words from most affectionate Rohini Devi, he simply paid his obeisance to her and stealthily, with a smiling face, took away the butter that was already kept on the palm of Mother Yashoda and searched for Balaram. But by then Balarama had already left the place, accompanying the cowherds. Sri Krishna was so affectionate to Balarama that he carried the butter instead of eating it himself. Then Sri Krishna, with his natural lovingness, asked Mother Yashoda and Rohini to send his midday meals to the forest. Next, he hastened to meet the comrades. On his way, first he met Chandravali along with her associates, with whom he cut some jokes. Then just kissed his flute, and with his maddening and self-enjoying lips, just at a step ahead he met his dearest sweetheart, Sri Radhika, associated with her companions, to whom, in a rapturous mood, passionately the Lord addressed, "Hello, the queen of my heart, Sri Radhika, I am at your disposal. But how is it today, having me at this loneliest place, you do not give vent to your passion? Is it you have become angry with me? Have I committed any offence against you? Or are you really a foreteller who might have learnt about my dream of this morning and therefore are considering me as ungrateful?" Further, Sri Krishna said, "Lo, Sri Radhe, listen, that in the dream I thought I had left you and got married to many, many princesses, took a vow either to marry me or to embrace death. Therefore I had to marry all of them and have begotten a lot of children by them. And in course of time I see the face of my grandchildren too. Anyhow, let me not go further, as now must proceed to the forest to join my friends. Bo, the very sin is you to me. Tonight I will yield your pleasure by fulfilling your wishes. Please excuse me now." So saying, Sri Krishna showered flowers on her person, and looking all around at the loneliness, he gave her an embrace, and kissing her once again left for joining his comrades. When Devaki, mother of Sri Krishna, from her hiding corner noticed Sri Krishna in this most charming and fascinating cowherd dress, the milk naturally poured out profusely from her mammal glands, although she was quite in ripe old age. Sri Rukmini and Sri Jambavati and other queens of Sri Krishna, who were noticing this Leela of the Lord from outside, also got uncontrollable passion beyond their apprehension at the very sight of this transcendental cowherd form of Sri Krishna. Although they were the queens of Sri Krishna of Dwarka, never could they have till that moment such type of uncontrollable passionate lust as they became infatuated in that most super mundane transcendental blissful lust, and becoming unconscious fell on the earth. But Satyabhama, the other queen among the principal ones, and old Padmavati, caught in the whirl of lustful passion, in their madness stretched out their arms as if to embrace Sri Krishna, and their facial expression indicated the act of kissing his cheeks. Fortunately, there remained the daughter of sun god Kalindi, another queen of Sri Krishna, who had the good luck beforehand to see such charming, all-attracting beauty of Sri Krishna, and certainly when intelligence prevailed upon her, she composed herself, and with the assistance of Sri Uddhava, immediately prevented both of them, Satyabhama and Padmavati. Here, Sri Govinda Deva, Sri Krishna, as he proceeded further, came in sight of the sea. But he thought of it as the Yamuna, and with a great ejaculation called for his comrades to join him. He addressed, "Bo, my friends, where are you all? Ye Sri Dama, ye Subal, and ye Arjuna, come hurriedly. I await you all for sporting in the transparent cool water of Yamuna." And he himself drew the entire herd of cattle towards the water, but he was struck with wonder to find that it was not the expected Jamuna, but the mighty sea with high tides. He now looked all around and finally could notice his own capital city, Dwarka, on the other shore of the sea. He, as if with an extreme surprise, thought, "What is it? Where am I now? And who am I?" Just then Balarama approached him and said, "Bo, my master, the Lord of Vaikuntha, you know yourself very well that you have descended on earth in response to the prayers of the immortal ones with a view to delivering the earth from the burden of Asuras. Now you may kindly carry out your mission in destroying the Asuras and protecting your devotees and the pious ones. Our kinsman Dharmaraja Yudhishthira no doubt is now offered the emperorship, but yet there remain many enemies. Therefore you should see that Yudhishthira can perform the Rajasuya Yagya with your full cooperation, viz. You should receive his first offerings at such performance. Therefore you kindly look first of all for the destruction of the enemies of Pandavas, and it is also a fact that those Asuras are inimical to you, but as Pandavas are your devotees, on that account they prevail upon them too." Sri Parikshit said, "With a view to bringing a thorough change of Sri Krishna's transcendental sentiments, Sri Baladeva spoke thus, and accordingly an effort thereof could be noticed in the person of Sri Krishna, who immediately cried out as if with great temper, 'Oh, brother, where are those tiny fellows, Anushalva, etc.? I will dispose of them all in no time, single-handed. You do know that I swear here itself never can be otherwise.' But now he could fully realize himself as the Lord of Dwarka and the master of the Yadavas. He also could know that he was lying in his palace, whereas now he saw himself as well as Balarama outside of the palace, in the uniform of Gopalila, with flute in his own hands. Next, he deeply pondered over the whole enactment and simply smiled. Now, taking the proper chance, Brahma approached nearer and smilingly narrated the whole incident from its inception to the last. At which Sri Krishna felt ashamed and repeatedly looked at the face of Sri Balarama and smiled sweetly. Sri Balarama removed all the dust from the body of Sri Krishna with his own hands, and both of them took a sea bath. When Sri Garuda approached there, Sri Krishna, soon riding on his back without anybody's notice, arrived at his own chamber in the palace of Dwarka. By the time all others who went to observe this wonderful Leela of the Lord also came back to the palace. Now Sri Uddhava announced the news of Sri Krishna's presence at his inner chamber, and next, forthwith, Mother Devaki and Rukmini, along with other queens, except Satyabhama, who, due to her spiritual jealousy, could not tolerate that Sri Krishna should have such greater love for the gopis than to her, came to meet Sri Krishna. Padmavati, due to her transgressing ailment, could have no access into the chamber of Sri Krishna. Now, Mother Devaki kissed the cheeks of her son Sri Krishna, and invoking blessings upon him, left along with Rohini Devi to the kitchen, just to prepare palatable dishes for Sri Krishna. Sri Rukmini, the sweetheart queen of the Lord, along with her co-sisters, stood gently with their womanly shyness by the side of the pillars. Sri Krishna could see them all, but Satyabhama was missing. Sri Krishna asked Uddhava, "Dear Uddhava, why is Satyabhama not present here?" Sri Haridas Uddhava said, "My lord, while you were taken to Nava Vrindavan, at that time the malicious hypocrite Padmavati could see your Gopa Vesha Leela from her hidden place along with your queens. But the paramount transcendental characteristic of it could not be understood by her. Nay, that which is beyond the realization of Paramahansas even, she misconstrued, and accordingly she said, 'Ah, the most unfortunate Devaki, ye devil-brained Rohini, lowliest Satyabhama, felicious to Jambavati and other queens. Look here, the dubious characteristics of Sri Krishna. Fie unto you all! Foolishly, you were all thinking so long that you all were the beloved ones of him, but he has now made you open your eyes, and now with your wide open eyes look at your near future. Very good, very good. Now there is no other alternative but to touch your proudly raised heads down unto the feet of the cowherd women of Braja. For even for that you may have to go in prolonged prayer. Damn, fie unto you!" But Sri Devaki Devi, who is the very stay of the universe, being the mother of yourself, could exercise her intelligence even at such spiteful utterances of wily Padmavati, and without the least perturbance instantly said, this is Uddhava talking to Krishna, and he's describing what she said to Padmavati. "Lo, scoundrel Padmavati, fie unto you! Listen to me. In our previous birth, I and Sri Vasudeva performed great penance, at which Sri Krishna, being pleased, became our son in this birth, whereas Sri Nanda and Sri Yashoda prayed to have their affectionate devotion to Sri Krishna. Brahma, the great devotee of the Lord, blessed them, and therefore they both, Nanda and Yashoda, could serve Sri Krishna as their son in the most unprecedented affectionate love, which we both, Devaki and Vasudeva, could not avail of. Therefore, definitely, they are far, far superior to both of us without least doubt. It is universally known how they served and patted Sri Krishna with their abounding, spontaneous flow of loving affection. So Sri Krishna's extraordinary lingering toward them is most appropriate, and I wholeheartedly subscribe to it. As soon as Mother Devaki finished her talk, Sri Rukmini Devi, with a loud laugh, spoke words which made everyone present there get inundated in blissful prema. She said, "Yes, we wholeheartedly consider it most justified. Why should not our beloved Sri Krishna have such surmounting love for the gopis, who all, abandoning their husbands and children, nay, even not caring for any attainment, whether of this mundane or supramundane sphere, served our Lord in all respect with their paramount erotic love, joining in the Rasa Krida as well as in Nikunja Leela at Vraja. Oh my God, what an ever secret sadhana they did, which if it was known we could do, that has resulted in gaining such an unattainable paramount position that they, becoming spouses to Sri Krishna, sported with him with their paramour erotic divine love, which even with our utmost sadhana we could not achieve. Therefore, we consider it most justified on the part of Sri Krishna to bestow better prema upon the gopis than on us. Secondly, we are even now fondly related to our rituals and rites, nay, to the children and the grandchildren, besides other family affairs. Next, we are after all wedded ladies to him, and accordingly we deal with him as husband and wife, whereas the gopis' case is otherwise, and that is beyond human pursuit. Therefore, time and again, I should say, wholeheartedly, without any reservation, that his supreme prema towards the gopis is beyond any question. It never can create any jealousy in our heart. Nay, we must honour it, keeping it as the crown of our head. What glory that their paramount erotic love made so much infatuated our most beloved Lord, which proclaims the glory of his prema to his unalloyed single-minded devotees. Sri Uddhava continued, all the other queens of yours represent their wholeheartedly accepted this verdict of Sri Rukmini Devi, but Sri Satyabhama alone could not subscribe to it. On that account she, Satyabhama, herself refused to be present there. Sri Parikshit said, when Sri Krishna, the only stay of the gopis, heard from Uddhava about the jealous heart of Satyabhama against gopis' love, he shouted out, Uddhava, immediately go and bring the foolish and egoistic daughter of Satyajit here. Satyabhama's behavior was most mystifying through double sentiment. Outwardly, she was showing jealousy against Sri Krishna's unfathomable love towards the gopis, but inwardly she wanted to open wide the gate of that secret, preserved treasure house of Sri Krishna's paramount erotic loving heart towards the gopis. That too for his own pleasure. Expert as she was, as soon as she heard from her maidservants the order of Sri Krishna, she immediately got up and, dressing herself as it suited the situation, made herself present before the Lord. She no doubt entered into the chamber of Sri Krishna, but due to her improper pride she felt ashamed and, stricken with fear, stood hiding herself behind the pillar. Sri Krishna, when learnt of the presence of Satyabhama there, in a chiding manner, straightway boldly said to her, Ye, Satyabhama, daughter of Satyajit, O heartless one, do you take me to be the same one who fell a prey to your will before, when I had to yield to your will because you showed jealousy towards Rukmini while she was presented with a parijata flower? Do you look in the same jealous mood at my paramount love towards the gopis. Lo, filthiest one, don't you know that I am totally subjugated by the gopis' lust, or love, one should say? I swear by your name that at once I can divorce you all for good, if you so desire. Brahma, in his panegyric to me, very rightly spoke that which became the very verdict of their gopis' debt, and ever I am indebted to them. Now, no doubt I am away from them, but I am on the horns of a dilemma, as if I go back and stay with them for their sake, I may neither be able to console them nor to make them happy, because as soon as I shall present myself amidst them, they will be overpowered by the surmounting prema, and being inundated into it, they will lose themselves. Oh, what a greatness! They forget everything of their own in me. Secondly, after keeping them so long in pangs of separation, if I present myself there once again, they will no doubt be happy, but immediately the heart-splitting idea will prevail upon them that they may lose me, and at any moment once again. So that idea definitely will create double pains to them, and no swearing even can bring any confidence in them. Thirdly, lacking my presence, they are burnt in that gem-like flame, and in that labyrinth they find the clue of perennial happiness. Ah, in that love-laden madness, sometimes they become motionless as if dead. Again, they create some sweet anecdotes of their transcendental love-laden madness. Further, the gopis of Braja, in pangs of separation from me, when they see something resembling my Shyama Varna, feeling my presence there, they kiss it with an embrace. Still higher passionate perturbances they exhibit, but I cannot give expression to them. Therefore now they have reached such a zenith of their love-intoxicated state that neither my return and stay with them or non-presenting myself amidst them makes spiritually any difference to them. I've gone on a long time, haven't I?
But it's ecstatic.
What about Mark? He's probably itching to have a go.
Are you itching, Mark? Oh God, I'm all dark.
Sorry, it takes me a long time to get this bloody thing.
Yeah.
There we go.
Do you want to do it? You want to go for it?
If you like.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
you like.
I'm
No,
all
go.
right.
It's good.
Hang on.
Just
Hold on.
get the image right, because it makes quite a lot of difference. Because remember, you're going to be immortalized in this recital, so it's
Keep
great when
getting
you've got
it.
you're going to get the framing right, the lighting. It makes a lot of difference with the. No, it does. You are look. I'm
Look,
sorry
it's
to
someone
say
do
it.
Anyway.
it, Mark.
All right, whatever.
This is an aesthetic expression of the highest order,
Says he, sitting in the dark.
yeah, okay, but I'm
Let's
not
do it.
recording me. Okay, I gotta put my light
Is
on.
that
Okay.
good now?
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. That's lovely. So are you gonna turn your head how yeah, you can turn it down a bit. You have less on the top and more on the bottom.
You've got to turn your head like.
Yeah, you need no the space. Try to understand, because you're gonna turn your face towards your book. Okay.
Yes, I am like this.
Yeah, and you don't want that. You don't need all that space above your head in the image. You can bring
I
that
don't
down.
know if we can fiddle
How's
it.
That's
that?
it. That's the one. And you got Sri Krishna behind you
Of
playing his
course.
flute, and we can see you. And you're aligned. It's a very good. Yeah,
No, Mark, that
yeah.
was perfect
Yeah,
then with the
that's right.
pink.
Look, you see, sorry to say it, if you look at the aesthetic of the line of the bottom of the picture of Krishna with the shelf and the line of the room, you're perfectly aligned.
It is perfect right in the middle now, Mark. It's
Yeah, it's
really
beautiful.
good.
Is this
Yeah.
the alignment of the non-aligned?
It partly, but no, you could take even a little bit off the top, because when you just moved it, you've lost a bit of your chin.
There we go. How's
Because your
that?
chin is moving. Yeah. Now look down. This is like, yeah, that's it. Okay. There you go. Off you
So
go.
you know where we are.
Did you read that that in the brackets?
No.
No. Okay, I'll just go back. This one. Therefore, now they have reached such a zenith of their love-intoxicated state that neither my return and stay with them, nor non-presenting myself amidst them, makes spiritually any difference to them.
Sorry to say it, you could move it still a bit from the top of your head. Your chin is going down.
Is that
We
okay?
want to see you because you're speaking with your face. We want to see that. We don't need to see the top of your head. That's less important than your mouth. Sorry to say. If you see
Right.
that.
So
That's good. So when you look down,
yes,
now,
I'm looking
look
down.
Yeah, that's good. But then don't go lower than that, though. You've got to stay in that pose, you see. That's what I'm saying. If you actually chop off more of your head, you can have more freedom of movement of your head.
Okay,
Lift
stop
up the
Come on.
book.
Yes.
Okay,
Right.
off you go.
Lift up the book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. All right. Okay. How's that? Now then. Okay. Here, indirectly, Sri Krishna indicates that eternally he is present amidst the gopis at Vraja. This will be cleared in the chapter Goloka Mahatmya in the second part of the book. Only on that account I am not going there. On the other hand, why I have married you all, let me tell that too. Bo, proudly jealous lady, Satyabhama, while I was dwelling at Mathura due to my separation from Sri Radhika and other gopis, I desired not to marry. But incidentally, Rukmini wrote a letter swearing that if I was not ready to take her hands, then she would be embracing death in lieu of becoming the queen of the tyrannical Shishupala. Therefore, without any alternative, I had to save her by lowering down the pride of the mighty kings who all attended her Swayamvara, the assemblage in which the princess exchanges her garland with the bridegroom of her choice. And next, I had to marry her, but it did not prove any solace to me. Wherever I see her face, it makes me perturbed in remembrance of the gopis. 60,100 gopis of Vraja, besides 8 principal ones, performed Katyayani Vrat in a view of getting me as their only paramount lover. Here also, when I saw that you all are in total number equal to them, and like them performed tapas to have me as your husband, I got married to you all in their memory. But lo, Bhamini, you must know, yet you all in sum total never can create that rapturous infatuation which I felt even meeting a single one among the gopis at Vraja. Therefore, in my spirit and essence, I ever remain at Vraja in the erotic, rapturous, blossomed embrace of the gopis. At Vraja, my union with the gopis created the liquid current of supreme paramount love transcendent, which represented an ocean of bliss in which I float ever and never knew the passing of my days and nights. In my boyhood, I playfully killed the mighty Putana and many other Daityas. Wicked Kaliya was taken to task very curiously by me, and I sent him out from Kaliya lake of the Yamuna and held up the high Govardhan mountain on the tip of my little finger at ease. I was so much immersed in the ocean of Gopi's love that even the panegyrics by Brahma and Indra, etc., didn't make any appeal to me. And even to meet them or to observe any ritual was very painful to me. Why should I speak about the gopis of Vraja? Even my charming, all-attractive beauty, dress, and the mystical nectar-pouring tune of my flute make everyone of the universe, who luckily come across them, overpowered with loving devotion to me. Even Brahma, Rudra, Indra, Siddhas, and Chandra of the Devata group. Next Munis, Gandharvas, Vidyadharas, and cattle, animals, birds, trees, plants, creepers, grasses, rivers, clouds, nay, all the sentient being, when they chance to come in contact with my Vraja Leela, all of them, without any discrimination, get possession of Satvik Bhava, and naturally their sentiment is thoroughly changed, viz., they lose their divergent characteristics in possessing a serving spirit towards me. You egotistic Satyabhama, if you think it is mere exaggeration, then ask Kalindi, who is present here, as she had the good luck to associate herself with my Vraja Leela. Although I am the same one here dwelling with the Yadavas, yet it is impracticable for me to execute the same paramount prema which I exhibited at Vraja, because neither the erotic rapturous field nor the appropriate reciprocating adherent I meet here. To speak the truth, here at Dwaraka, absolutely there is lack of sentiment among the queens, lack of the rapture of Vraja's receptivity, for which I have laid aside my most favourite flute. Ah, what a plight! My most fascinating sports at Vraja and the paramount bliss thereof made me drift into the ocean of bliss. To expect a field here for creating such bliss is a far cry. Nay, I do not even find a proper recipient to whom I can narrate it as it is. There is only Badarayani Sri Shukadeva, who is dear as the gopis of Vraja to me, possessing the transcendental sentiment of paramount prema devotion and observing reciprocity in his august discipline. Sri Parikshit, who was protected by me while he was in the womb of his mother, who will expound my Vraja Leela in a nutshell. Sri Parikshit said, Dear mother, when Mahaprabhu Sri Krishna forcibly thus spoke about the gopis' paramount position, then Uddhava, the wisest minister of the Lord, realized that once again the Lord might be entering into his own transcendental perturbation, as it happened once, for which he had to be taken to Navavrindavan. So, to get remedy thereof, he promptly instructed all the queens, including Rukmini and Satyabhama, to approach the Lord and fall at his feet. They accordingly fell at the feet of the Lord, full of tears in their eyes and humble panegyrics. In the meantime, Uddhava instructed Mother Devaki and Rohini to bring meals for Sri Krishna, and by then Sri Balaram, after finishing his bath, came there. Now, cleverly, Uddhava informed the Lord about Sri Narada's presence at the gate. Sri Nandanandan, Sri Krishna, who is the knower of all hearts, smilingly now asked Uddhava, why is Sri Narada today prevented from entering my room? Generally, at all times, he comes straight to my room. On this remark of the Lord, Uddhava smilingly said, Bo, my master, out of fear and shame he is not approaching you. At which the Lord himself went to Sri Narada and brought him to his room. Sri Bhagavan, addressing Narada, said, Bo, my most favorite devotee, Sri Narada, you ever create delight in my heart. So there is nothing wrong you have done. On the contrary, you have really served me thereby. The memory of my separation from the gopis truly perturbed me, true to the fact that the pangs of separation give me more sweetness, like hot sugarcane juice, than union that creates a paramount position, because the pangs thereof are the source of immeasurable, unthinkable, perennial bliss, and that bliss is tasted only by rasikas. None else can relish it. That pang ultimately brings forth the greater type of union. And there's an asterisk here, and it says Vina Vipralambena Samboga Pushtim Ashnute. Love in separation. So, love in separation is far superior to love in union. And in love in separation, the gopis, particularly Sri Radha, rose to the height of Adiruddha Mahabhava, in which she feels the transcendental, supreme, most pleasure of union with me. Beyond that, there is nothing, and this cannot be given expression to in any language of understanding. Further, Bhagavan said, Bo Narada, you are incidentally reminding me about the gopis. Thereby, actually, you give me freshness of life. On the other hand, for my part, it was most unjust to forget the love of dear ones, and to become ungrateful to them is more heinous than even embracing suicide. No doubt I am ever indebted to the gopis, and ever they occupy my heart. Yet if anybody accidentally magnifies their anecdotes, then it actually makes me float on the ocean of their love. Merely living does not bring happiness. Life with festivity makes the life sweetened. Therefore, I should say that you have done a great service to me, like giving a surcharge into a battery with the electric current. So I am much pleased unto you that I keep my heart open, and you may ask any boon from me. Sri Parikshit said. Sri Narada, the crestjewel rishi, got extremely exhilarated and shouted out, "All glory to my beloved master Sri Krishna," and next, playing on his veena, went on singing, depicting the glorious Vraja Leela of the Lord. Bo, mother, Sri Narada explained in details, everything beginning with the incident that he witnessed at Das Ashwamedha Ghat of Prayag, and up to the experience that he had in interviewing Uddhava at Dwaraka, with a view to getting it certified by the Lord himself that all of them, as per the degree of their servitorship, got Purushartha, human pursuit. Then he humbly begged, "My Lord Sri Krishna, my only prayer is that there should ever remain increasing thirst in drinking the fathomless ocean of bliss, in rendering unalloyed bhakti and prema to you. And none of your devotees should feel it enough, viz. there may retain increasing, unquenching thirst in the devotee, even when he floats on the fathomless ocean of bliss." Sri Krishna said, "Bo Jagat Guru Narada, what is this prayer? It is the transcendental spiritual truth that the grace, bhakti and prema do possess such characteristic. Bo, the great among the munis, you on your visit, beginning with Prayag Tirtha and up to Brahmaloka, and then after visiting other lokas such as Patal Lok, Kimpurusha Lok, and Hastinapur, have come here. Your experience thereof actually records that all of them are really recipients of my grace, and by dint of that they have received all the Purusharthas, human pursuit, and they are the deliverers of the world. But there is a grade of reciprocity of my grace among them, and this gradation of receptivity is explained in the second part of the book. But you see, Narada, that such is the natural characteristic of my grace, that none of them, nay, even the one who is the best lover of me, viz. The gopis, considers it enough, but there ever remains increasingly unquenchable thirst in them. Sri Parikshit said, at which Sri Narada, in abounding bliss, danced for some time, and then, like a hungry beggar who wants nothing but food, Sri Narada begged of Sri Krishna, the giver of everything, 2 boons, and at his behest said as follows. Sri Narada said, "O my Lord, what a glory! By offering even yourself, you do consider indebted to your single-minded devotees. I feel myself totally self-content and supremely blessed by having the chance to study the science of those who are recipients of your kindest favor. My first idea was to prove on the earth that the best recipients of your fathomless ocean-like bliss are the gopis of Vraja, which I could witness by observing your feeling just now, and thereby you have inundated me in your ocean-like grace. Yet, O most gracious Lord, since long my heart is hunting for receiving a boon, which I now humbly pray for, Bo, the swan dwelling in the boundless and fathomless lake of the nectarine Gopi Prema, may I be blessed with a chance to sing aloud in ecstasy your nectarine divine name and pastimes depicting your most sweet Vraja Leela in unison with dress, uniform, decoration, and sports thereof. Oh, I shall drink deep the nectarine divine Krishna Nama, and in ecstasy I shall roam about being intoxicated in singing the name and inundating the whole universe with the bliss of your divine Krishna name. And my second prayer is that those who, with their spiritually surcharged, unflinching love and devotion, come in contact with your Vraja pastimes and associate themselves with the very land of your Vraja Leela through the process of visiting, listening, or singing, or touching with spiritual feeling the dust of that divine land of Vraja. Then they should be having unalloyed prema bhakti at the feet of your Swayam Rupa as Gopi Jana Vallabha. Ah, what an enchantment! Those feet of your those feet of yours shining with ultraviolet color due to the touch of the kumkuma from the fully blossomed mammal glands of the erotic lovers, the gopis, viz. They become the adherents of Madhura Rasa following the footsteps of the Vraja gopis. Sri Parikshit said, "Bo mother, Gopinath Sri Krishna with extreme affectionate love, stretching his lotus-like arms and showering his blessing, invoked, Bo Narada, let your wish be fulfilled. As soon as Sri Narada received the boon from the Lord, he entered in the world of ecstasy, and in that spiritual perturbance sang the glory of Gopi Janavallabha Sri Krishna with stately dance. Thereafter, Sri Narada, along with Sri Krishna and Balarama, was treated with varieties of sumptuous food and milk preparations served by Sri Rohini and Devaki. Sri Uddhava, sitting by the side, repeatedly requested, please take these as they are special preparations, and so on and so forth. Sri Satyabhama was fanning all along, and other queens of Sri Krishna were standing by the side, creating pleasure in his mind. After finishing the meals, they washed their hands and face. And then Sri Krishna himself, with his own hands, anointed sandalwood paste on the person of Sri Narada and also offered him garlands with other ornaments. Thereafter, Sri Narada, the covetous one for Prema Bhakti, begged the Lord, saying, My master, the rishis assembled at Prayag Tirtha are awaiting eagerly my return there, so kindly permit me so that I may enlighten them in respect of my experience. Taking leave from the Lord, Sri Narada roamed about in love intoxication for some time, and then singing madly the glories of the Lord and playing on his veena, left for Prayag. Those munis at Prayag Tirtha, when they heard the most attentively the narration from Narada Rishi, and by dint of their good spiritual disposition, had discerned the supremacy of bhakti over jnana and karma, accordingly gave up the practice of jnana and karma, and forthwith had recourse to devotion to Sri Krishna, the Supreme. They, being enlightened by Narada Rishi, got unalloyed devotion with their humility at the lotus feet of Sri Madan Gopal, Sri Krishna. Sri Parikshit said, Bo mother, I have spoken to you the secret of all secrets. Now you may, following in the footsteps of the gopis, sing the divine name of Gopi Jana Vallabha Rasa Raja Sri Krishna with unalloyed loving prema bhakti, which is the summum bonum of life. As it is impractical for a bee to swallow the highest Sumeru mountain, so too I confess my inadequacy to be able fully to peep into even one aspect of the gopis' prema. Hip hip hurrah! Ah, what a transcendental, paramount, substantial pleasure of gopis' love that my divine master, Sri Vyasanandan Shukadeva, who is the swan of the fathomless ocean of gopis' prema, even did not frequently take their name. Ever intoxicated in that loving devotion, instead of singing the glories of the gopis, he all the while takes the names of Sri Krishna and Sri Rukmini, because gopis' names soon become associated with suffering in gem-like flame pangs of separation from Sri Krishna, which burns his heart, and in that spiritual perturbance he soon enters into the world of ecstasy. Therefore, it becomes hard for him to take the names of the gopis. Parikshit said, Bo mother, if you can follow the footsteps of the gopis in union with the Madan Mohan, Sri Krishna at the Rasa dance, in which the full manifestation of the cognitive essence of supreme paramount love transcendent got manifested, and by the method that I have spoken to you about, then by dint of their causeless mercy, you also will be able to realize to a certain extent the prema of Gopi's love. This most wonderful narration will help a devotee to treasure the loving devotion of one who is the best recipient of Sri Krishna's grace. One who will attentively listen to this story and accordingly translates it into his life will soon be endowed with the loving devotion at the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, the Supreme Lord.
Haribol,
Hare
Jai
Krishna.
Radha, Jai Shri Krishna. Wow. Woo!
Awesome.
That's
Awesome.
the end of part 1.
Ascharya. Yeah, that's the end of the first part. That's all.
Sorry, 1 minute. Yeah.
Hey, did you turn my video off?
Did I? I don't think so.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, hold on a second. Hold on.
You rotter.
I don't know. It's because you were. Oh, yes, I did. It's because you put that picture up. It was a distraction.
Oh, I thought it was nice.
No, it wasn't for me. It was a distraction. It was just, what was that to do with Brhad Bhagavatamrta? I'm sorry.
A lot.
No.
What was it? I didn't see it.
I didn't see
It was a kitsch. It was a kitsch scene of a pseudo Indian romantic village scene.
Reminded me of an Indian
Such a
restaurant.
hard
Indian restaurant.
It's not so awful. So start.
In that last chapter, was something interesting. There was mention about the Brajavadus who are worshipping Krishna by the Jamuna.
Sorry,
moon.
look, that was sorry to say that. That was a distraction from you.
Sorry, Dina. Sorry.
Yeah, it's Mrigashirsha Purnim today.
Is it?
Which is
What
the
is
day
that?
Mrigashirsha
Yeah.
Purnim, the beginning of winter. It's the day when the gopis finish their Katyayani Vart.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting because he mentioned that, didn't he?
That's right.
It
Yeah.
looks beautiful, the moon. I could see it tonight.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
the moon's great.
Is it clear?
It was clear when I went upstairs.
It's changeable
I've
down
gone
here.
dark again.
Yeah, and cloudy one minute the next, one minute to the next.
Wait a bit.
What is the? Can you remind me at the beginning of the Gopakumara? And I always forget this. We're going to go to Gopakumara next, and as a prelude to that, I can't remember. There's a thing where there's the guru who he sees, who's this ecstatic Baba, and then there's the dream of the goddess, and then there's the mantra, and I've got it all. I haven't got the clarity, remembrance of
You got to get it from the start. It starts with the Brahmin.
So can you just, before we start, because I kind of like, it's so important because now I just wanted that before we commented on what we've just heard. Or we can do it the other way around.
Oh, yeah, so it starts with the Brahmin.
Yeah.
Is it Jana Sharma? And it's his going around. He goes to a few places.
It's too cloudy.
And when he meets this cowherder who's crying in Vrindavan and making a big noise, crying.
Who's doing what? Say that again. Sorry, I wasn't with you.
Mark and Penny got their sound on.
So
Sorry.
Yes, we can hear you in the background.
See the moon.
Mark's the moon.
Okay, that's
okay. Sorry.
Jana Sharma was the Brahmin that saw the worship going on by the rishis.
What do you mean he saw the worship going on? I've lost you. I can't remember.
You'll see, he's the one who comes, he comes to Prayag and he sees all the Vaishnavas singing and dancing. He goes, hey, you, Vaishnava singers, stop all that noise. What are you doing?
Right.
Remember?
I can't remember this bit
It's
at
so
all.
funny. And they turn around, some of them are just laugh at him, others just ignore him, and some of them like say, hey, don't talk to Vaishnavas like that.
Yeah.
But let's just read it.
Okay. So that's what where we're going.
It takes a little while before we meet Gopakumar.
Okay.
Because this Brahmin, Jana Sharma, he
Okay.
meets Gopakumar because as he's wandering around looking for Krishna,
Okay.
he
I
meets
can't remember this.
Gopakumar.
Yes, I can't
He's
remember.
got the mantra, he's got this mantra, just like Gopakumar. Every time Devi gives him the mantra in his dream, and he doesn't do it, right? Because he thinks, oh, it's just a dream. So then she comes in a dream again and says, no, I need you do it. Do the mantra. I've given you the mantra, do it. And it sort of starts with that.
No, it's just, oh God, isn't it? Okay, brilliant. Okay, so that's coming. God, how exciting. Again, I forgot that a little bit. Where's everybody else gone? I can't see anybody else. They've all disappeared.
So, no.
We scared them away or something. Where's Dina? Where's Ram? Where's Mark and Penny? They all
I'm
gone?
here, but the meeting cut out a minute or two ago. It might have disrupted things. I don't know. You might have to check.
Not to worry.
I don't think so. I don't know.
I thought I found really striking, the first time, not the first time I heard it, but the first time I was reading it with someone. Are we still recording?
No, should I turn it off? Do you want to turn?
No, I suppose not. I don't need to get into it. We're going to get into it after. Should we just start reading a bit more while we've got time?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God, we've got ages yet. We haven't.
So, now
okay.
this is part 2.
Okay.
Brhad Bhagavatamrta, part 2, chapter 1, Vairagya Nama, Namaha, Sri Krishna.
You were muted. Can you start again? Sorry.
Yeah, okay. Sri Brihad Bhagavatamritam, part 2, chapter 1, Vairagya Nama. Nama Shri Krishnaya Bhagavati Vasudevaya. Salutation with full submission to Bhagavan Vasudeva Sri Krishna. The author, Sri Sanatana Goswami, in his invocation to Bhagavan Sri Krishna, says, Ah, Pita Kauseya Vasa, wearer of the yellow robes, O Lord of love transcendent, now realizing that you are more fascinated by kirtan than yourself being tied up with the rope of Shravana and Dhyana, I fasten you unloosingly by performing this kirtana. Therefore, how can you take leave of me? I also salute with full submission Bhagavan Sri Chaitanya Deva, by taking shelter in whose Sri Rupamani, beauty immanent, and insentient being, humbly so counting himself, like me, wonderfully dances, even as I am made to compose this book. Sri Janami Jaya said, Bho Prabhu, Jaimini Rishi, the most enchanting narration that I could hear so far from your lips proves without any contradiction that my father, Parikshit, who was ever floating in the ocean of Krishna Prema, churned Srimad Bhagavat ocean and such other bhakti literature, the esoteric aspect of which might not come even to the understanding of the most learned and cultured persons of Shastric law. And he delivered it without any reserve to his mother Uttara, out of excessive love to her. Bho, thou great among the Munis, the mellow juice of nectarine ocean like Bhagavata that I perfectly drank, and which particularly became more flavorous when it poured out from any holy lips, to speak the truth, instead of bringing contentment, made me much more avaricious to taste more and more of it. Therefore, kindly narrate further the discourse that my father gave to his mother in continuation which definitely, I suppose, will be more nectarine. Sri Jaimini said, "Bo, mighty king, transcendental glories of Goloka neither can be known nor can be properly narrated by any amount of empirical knowledge. Nay, those who all have climbed to the top of the land of Brahmajnana, even for them it is a far cry. But it was to my great luck that I was blessed by Sri Shukadeva, the very ocean-like reservoir of Krishna Prema, and I was very fortunate indeed to sit by the side of Sri Parikshit Maharaja while he was pouring out those nectarine glories into the ears of his mother, and I could drink deep the mellow sweetness thereof. Bo, the grace recipient Janami Jaya, as it is permitted in the Shruti that the most secret esoteric aspect of the spiritual love may be disclosed to the most faithful disciple. Therefore, I get liberty to narrate the transcendental glories of Goloka to you. Be attentive in listening to it. Your grandmother, Sri Uttara Devi, began floating in the ocean of bliss, hearing the most glorious talks about the best recipient of the ocean-like bliss of Sri Krishna. Although she could feel that incomparable merit and unfathomable depth of the prema bhakti at the lotus feet of Sri Gopi Kanta, Sri Krishna, paramour lover of the damsels of Braja, and could realize that a thirsting bird of that transcendental prema resides at a plane far above and superior to Vaikuntha. Yet, to get it firmly confirmed, she asked her son Parikshit aright. Sri Uttara said, "My dear child, I do know that the three worlds, Bhur, Bhuva, and Swaha, are enjoyed by the pious, desirous family people, and above that there are four worlds such as Maha, Jana, Tapa, and Satyaloka, which are enjoyed by the Upakurvana Brahmacharis, the Naistika Brahmacharis, the Vanaprasthas, and Yatis, sannyasis, respectively. All of them, due to their latent virtuous karma fruits, enjoy these respective worlds, and after the exhaustion of the virtue, all of them have to return to this earth again. But rarely some who are of those upper worlds from Mahaloka may, due to the performance of Nishkama Karma, get mukti along with Brahma at the dissolution of the entire universe. Again, some of the Nishkama karmis following the path of Archin Devi, Deva, Agni may finally be led to mukti, but those who possess the strictest abnegation in following the path of knowledge, jnana, they get directly mukti after the fall of the mortal coil. Whereas those who worship the Supreme Lord, even with all desires, they, after enjoying the respective desired objects, ultimately due to fire of devotion, will be getting themselves purified and reach to the eternal abode of Sri Bhagavan. Those who serve the Supreme Lord without any motive or for selfish gain directly go to the transcendental blissful abode of Sri Narayana, viz. Sri Vaikuntha, which is beyond the ascent of the muktas among jnanis. Those who all live at Vaikuntha enjoy afresh the transcendental bliss by rendering unalloyed devotional service at his feet of Bhagavan Sri Krishna, and they also join in the sportive leela of Bhagavan, the everlasting bliss that the devotees got thereof, compared to which the bliss of the jnani is most negligible. Again, among those devotees, some are Jnana Mishra Bhakta, such as King Bharata. 2. Shuddha Bhakta, such as King Ambarisha. 3. Prema Bhakta, such as Hanuman. 4. Prema Para Bhakta, such as Pandavas. And 5. Prematura Bhakta, such as Uddhava and other Yadavas. This is Uttara speaking, what she's understood. In this matter of bhakti, all of them are pure, but there are gradations of their longing sentiments. Therefore, distinctions of the depth of feelings are there in the various types of devotees. Yet, at the same time, at Vaikuntha, there cannot remain any discrimination on account of its equilibrium. Whether it is Sarupya or Samitya Mukti, everywhere Sri Bhagavan bestows unbiased gift, yet it is not heard of that there may remain a superior plane than Vaikuntha, where super excellent transcendentalism can be had. The muktas of 5 denominations, viz. Sayuja, etc., as per their respective spiritual sentiment, may enjoy the bliss of Vaikuntha in accordance with their possession and attainment. But let there be self-contentment in the perfection of their spiritual gain. Yet what about the significant super-excellent bliss enjoyed by those who are all sweet-hearted devotees of the paramount lover of the gopis, viz. Sri Krishna? As for those who have given up all other culture of devotion save and except taking sole recourse to Sankirtana by singing with loving prema the sportive soul longing aspiration for becoming a confidant maid to Sri Radha, if their paramount state is considered at any rate equated with the achievement of other devotees, nay, even if the unstinted love of Sri Narada or Sri Nanda Maharaja or Mother Yashoda is equated with that of unique Radha's love, it will be a death blow to me. As all the waters meet in the ocean, so too all the transcendental glories and spiritual divine sentiments, rasas, get their union in and become unique in the persons of the Gopis of Braja. So I do not believe that there must be a superior transcendental plane above Sri Vaikuntha for Sri Nanda, Yashoda and Gopis. So I do believe. Therefore, my dear child, Parikshit, you should disclose these truths while narrating further about it, and establish firmly my full conviction, so that I may become completely free from this perturbation. Sri Jaimini said, Sri Parikshit Maharaja became excessively pleased at such unique inquisitiveness of his mother. He saluted her, and with spiritual perturbations in his person and joyful tears in his eyes, continued his discourse. Sri Parikshit said, O fortunate one, to whom to be void of Krishna is to be void of life, and who is living in ecstatic love in separation. Mother, this is the fittest inquiry that has come from you, the worthiest person. Heretofore none could put such a question. One who has sent me to this holy land of Bharatavarsha is a most gracious son of yours and a grandson of his dearest Sri Subhadra Devi and Arjuna. He, with mace and dice in hand, mace and dice, disc, with mace and disc in hand, protected me along with you while I was in your womb from the wrath of Ashwatthama, and since my boyhood I was made to inquire after him by examining each and every one like a Paramahansa to find whether therein I could meet him whom I met in your womb. By his grace I could have a good disposition and could follow in the footsteps of great ones. It is he who crowned me with the victory of driving out the Kali. Ah, how gracious he is unto me, that first he offered me a throne with inexhaustible treasure, and then through a Brahmin, Sringi, son of Samika Rishi, gave me a curse, which ultimately became a boon for attaining abnegation. Oh, what a kindness that he, Sri Krishna, again sent his disciple Shamika to intimate me of the curse which I had accepted with lowered head as a boon to me, because that made me get rid of the whirlpool of samsaric ocean and dragged me here to the bank of the holy Ganges, with a prepared mind to observe fast unto death. He bathed me in his abounding grace, for in the assembly of great Munis he sent the grace embodiment, Sri Shukadeva, who not only made me completely free from the fear of death by delivering the delicious Bhagavatam, but inundated me in the nectarine ocean of Krishna Prema. And lastly, he had favoured me with this rarest chance, to drink deep to my heart's content his love by performing this kirtana of his sacred glories and leelas in association with his most chosen one, like your good self. Now, once again, entirely banking upon the immeasurable grace of Krishna, I assure him time and again, and although I know, as per the pronouncement of the Brahmin, my departing time is at hand, yet by the grace of Sri Shukadeva I am in a state of complacency and fearlessness. Therefore I consider that enough time is still left to expound the lore of Sri Krishna, and I fully concentrate upon it. It will be a very esoteric aspect of Vaishnava Shastric lore, although I could answer to your question to your full satisfaction by giving explanatory notes with elaborate references and annotations from Shruti and Smriti Shastras. Instead of doing so, first of all I shall narrate a most famous history which was revealed to me by the unreserved mercy of my Sri Gurudeva, and I believe that will clear all your doubts and give a very convincing answer to your question. No doubt thereafter I shall take liberty to refer to Shruti and Smriti, keeping no contradiction in between the two. I'll read a bit more, but tell me when you want me to stop. So now the narrative begins. In ancient times there lived in Pragjotishpura a poor Brahmin who had no learning in religious literature, but he daily used to worship Kamakshi Devi of the place with humble prayer for the favour of the great fortune from the Devi. Devi, being pleased at his worship, bestowed upon him in a dream a 10-lettered Gopala mantra. The presiding deity of the mantra was Bhagavan Sri Madanagopal Sri Krishna, and the mantra was the very ocean of bliss. The Devi, at the same time, taught him how to practice it with proper guidance. The Devi was so kind unto him that when she observed that the Brahmin did not give much heed to this mantra japa, thinking after all it was a dream, she for a second time revealed to him the mantra, at which the Brahmin felt interested in observing the mantra, and thereafter, constantly uttering the mantra in solitude, he lost all interest in begging for wealth which he was hunting for so long in his heart. Not only that, he now felt the divine bliss thereof. although he was illiterate in Shastic lore and was quite ignorant about the supreme reality, yet now he could think that definitely there is something to be aspired after as the spiritual goal, and that the means thereof were nothing but the mantra which he had gained. The means thereof was that, in accordance with the idea of fulfill the aspired gain, renounced. There's something missing there. Anyway, renounced his home and hearth, and taking on the order of the recluse, in his wandering reached Ganga Sagar, the confluence. There he could meet with many Brahmanas who were living in their family order, who were well versed in almost all the branches of learning and faithful in their observation of caste religion. He heard from them in detail about the daily and seasonal ritualistic Nitya and Naimitic duties which must be observed for gaining the heaven next. He, observing their sincere performance, felt an urge to observe those rites in his life. But as he had deep faith in the utterances of the Devi, he could not give up mantra japa. Therefore, due to the power of the mantra, he could find no solace in those desire-laden ritualistic rites. He then lost his interest in such rituals and left for Kashidham, Banaras. Here he could meet a large number of sannyasis who all assembled there from different parts of the country, but they all belonged to the Brahmavada school. Therefore, they were ragging each other and to establish their respective theories in discussion, Advaita, Dvaita. Anyhow, first on the arrival at the place, he invoked Sri Vishveshwara Shiva, the presiding deity of the place, and next went one after another to different ashrams to pay his salutation to the sannyasi inmates there, and himself acquainted with them. Those sannyasis were well read in their theory, and they explained to him in such a way as if the moksha was within the fold of their 5 fingers. The Brahmana became naturally tempted to subscribe to their theory. Without any labor, daily and constantly, he could hear from their lips the discourse on Vedanta, expounding the highest merit of moksha, and after having his ablution in the holy Ganges at Manikarnika Ghat and paying a visit to Sri Vishveshwara, he could have sumptuous food containing varieties of sweets to his choice. Now, after spending some time there, he felt a desire to take to their ascetic order, but he could not leave his mantra japa as he was feeling divine bliss thereof. Luckily, it so happened that one night Sri Madanagopala Deva, the very deity of his mantra, made his appearance in a dream to him. At that blissful sight of the all-charming beauty of the deity, he entered into a blissful state which made him lose all other interest except mantra japa. He could not think of what was next to be done, but this time too in a dream Sri Mahadeva Sadashiva, associated with Sri Kamakshi Devi, from whom he received the divine mantra, appeared before him and commanded him, "Oh, fool, don't take yourself to the ascetic order. Immediately approach Sri Mathura circle, wherein at Brindavana you will gain your aspired goals." Okay, I'll let Mark finish off.